What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So, we have the framework for the big, beautiful bill that they are trying to move through Congress right now through reconciliation. And I want to talk about this because they did talk about Social Security. And so, let me show you this headline first. It says Social Security users to get $4,000 boost in payments. Who is eligible? It says users. That's really weird. Why not beneficiaries? Why not something else? But that's the headline coming out of Newsweek. And so I want to break this down because this is very misleading. First off, $4,000, a $4,000 boost. We'll talk about it in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, and so before we get back to the article, I want to talk a little bit about this first. When it comes to Social Security benefits, the promise that was made, President Trump made a promise that he is going to eliminate taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits. That is not what's in this big, beautiful bill. Okay, now this big, beautiful bill, they can still make amendments, so they can still make changes to the bill, and it hasn't passed the House and hasn't passed the Senate. So there's still time to make these changes. However, right now, it's not showing a elimination of taxes for people receiving Social Security benefits. And so this is, at this point right now, President Trump has overpromised, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. If they were able to do this, they would have done it right away, I would think. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to eliminate taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits. Okay, now that being said, let's get to this article because I want to show you what is going on here. And then I also want to show you what they are planning to do. Okay, so this part right here says a section entitled Enhanced Deductions for Seniors outlines the Social Security benefits those over 65 could soon be entitled to. The bill states that for tax years 2025 through 2028, seniors will be entitled to an additional $4,000 deduction. Deduction, it's very important, that word there, on Social Security wages. However, the bill goes on to state that this deduction will be subject to income-based restrictions and that the deduction will decrease by 4% for all adjusted income above $75,000 for an individual or $150,000 in the case of joint tax returns. So this is what they're talking about here, $4,000 in deductions. And so basically $4,000 in deductions, it's not a credit, it's not money that's going to you. It's actually a deduction. So if let's say if I receive $30,000 in Social Security and then other retirement plans, then I would be able to deduct $4,000 from that for tax purposes. So it would look like instead of $30,000, it would look like $26,000. And that's all it is. Now, if you've overpaid, then yes, you'll be able to receive a refund, but this $4,000 is not going. It's not you can't even really call it a boost because it's not money that's coming to you. It's just allowing you to use $4,000 or think of it this way, to hide $4,000 of the money that you received so you don't have to pay taxes on it. That's the best way to look at it. And then also we're looking at income levels. So if you're over 75,000, then now you're going to receive reduced. It's not going to be that 4,000. It's going to be less. And I'll go over that at the end of this video. I'll show you a demonstration just to show you kind of how that would work out. But this is not for everyone. Some people don't pay taxes on their Social Security benefits. Some people do pay taxes, and this might help them. But if you're receiving a lot more in retirement, this is not really going to benefit you. It'll benefit you by the $4,000. But if you already have tax deductions over $4,000, then this is not going to benefit you. So it's just a baseline. So, it's very misleading, and we'll have to see if they make some adjustments, they make some changes to this. But the elimination of taxes for Social Security beneficiaries, it's not happening at this point. It's not happening. So we'll have to see if they do move forward with something else. Now, let me show you. I do want to open this up and show you just an example of what's going on when it comes to the reductions if you go over the amount. So let's just hypothetically say you have a 68-year-old and their adjusted gross income. So the adjusted gross income is what they're basing this on. So the adjusted gross income is 80,000. So you have 80,000 there. So you're 5,000 over the 75,000. This is for an individual, right? And so you're 5,000 over the 75,000. And so 4%, that is what they're going to reduce this deduction by, this $4,000 deduction. They're going to reduce it by 4% if you go over that 75,000. So in this case, you went over by 5,000. And so if we're looking at the deduction, that would equal $200 less. And so that would mean your total deductions would be $3,800. So it would no longer be 4,000. And so that's what would happen if you're receiving more. Your AGI is more than the 75,000 for individual or the 150,000 for couples. And so who is this really going to help? It's going to help those people that are kind of in the middle there. So they're paying a little bit maybe in taxes right now, so they could use that $4,000 deduction, but it's not really going to help those people who are not paying taxes right now, or the people who are receiving a lot of money in retirement and they're paying taxes, but that 4,000 is really not going to impact them. And some of them already have deductions that are over that 4,000. And so it won't impact them. And so as I stated earlier, this is kind of one of those things where you say we're going to eliminate taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits, but that was an overpromise. This is not delivering on that promise. And so you're going to have some people that will be upset if this moves through Congress. And I want to repeat that, if this moves through Congress, because it still has to move through Congress, so we can see some changes in the future when it comes to this. Now, one of the things that I've talked about on this channel when it comes to eliminating taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits, it could be good for those people who you've eliminated the taxes, so they're receiving more, so they have more money to spend. But for the program as a whole, it's bad. It's bad because the taxes that you're paying on your Social Security benefits goes right back into the trust fund and goes out and helps to pay out benefits. And so if you eliminate taxes, that means that the trust funds will be depleted much sooner. And so if the trust funds get depleted much sooner, right now we're looking at about 8 years. In 8 years, the trust funds will be completely depleted if Congress does nothing. If that happens, now we're looking at a cut across the board of about 23% for everyone receiving Social Security benefits. And so Congress needs to act. That's one thing. But also, if we're looking at eliminating taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits, we could expedite the trust funds being depleted by 2 or 3 years. And so we could be looking at 5 years from now, we could be looking at the trust funds being completely depleted. And so maybe there was some talk of that in Congress where they said we can't afford to eliminate taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits because of what it would do to the trust fund. That potentially could have happened. I personally think it probably didn't happen, but as of right now, it's not on the table. They're not really talking about eliminating taxes for people receiving Social Security benefits, but I want to know what you guys think. So in the comments, let me know. You can also send me an email, david@thetecshow.com. Subscribe for more, like the video, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.